What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be diving into one of my favorites, Captain Marvel, issue number 27. By Kelly Thompson. Artist is David López, color artist is Triana Farrell, and letterer is VC's Clayton Cowles. Now, Captain Marvel is coming out of a huge story arc, and if you haven't been keeping up with that, go ahead and check out the link in my description and at the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything that's been going on in the Captain Marvel line. Now, Captain Marvel just got out of the dystopian world of 2052, and she's come back to present time, and she's looking for Ovi. But also upon returning, she ended up breaking up with Rhodey. After meeting Rodney's daughter, realizing that it wasn't her daughter, she felt obligated to break up with him. Because if there is even a sliver of possibility that that daughter that Captain Marvel met could come to reality, she doesn't want to stand in the way of that. And so with that being said, let's dive into this issue. So this issue drops us into Carol Danvers' New York City apartment. 12 days have now passed since she broke up with Rhodey, and after returning from 2052. And as she sits here laying in bed, she hears a voicemail from Jessica. And as she's sitting here laying in bed, the voicemail is telling her that she needs to answer because nobody has heard from her in days now. She hasn't returned anybody's calls. Voicemails have been left. Even Tony Stark is more or less concerned about her well-being because no one has seen her. No one's seen her in 12 days to be exact. She has just been living in her room, and we can tell by looking around, everything is just a disaster. She's in a depressive state. She just went through a breakup. Even though it was a mutual breakup, she still did, or not a mutual breakup, but a breakup of her decision. She still cared about him, and so this is still hard for her. But as she ignores this, Jessica's finally like, okay, just remember that you made me do this. And this is where we see Jessica Drew come crashing through Captain Marvel's window, and we see Captain Marvel just livid. Just like, are you kidding me? Did you really just crash through my freaking window? And just tells her, like, you gave me no choice. I told you on the machine. You knew that I wouldn't be bluffing, so I don't know why you're acting all shocked and surprised because I came through. Like, I even gave you warning. Nobody's heard from you, and I'm coming to check on you. That's what friends do. And so we see Carol Danvers get up out of bed, and as they're having a discussion, she changes. Thinking that she's changing into like regular everyday clothes, she just changed from dirty pajamas into new clean pajamas. And Jessica's just like, are you kidding me? Like, you're not going back to bed. I literally need your help. Because right now there's giant cats merged with snakes that are ridden by sexy wizards. And they're shooting acid everywhere. And so Carol reluctantly just like, fine. And we see her ignite her powers, and they head off to Central Park, which Central Park seems to be like the iconic place for all of Marvel to do their like quick battle scenes. I don't know what it is about Central Park, but we were just covering Black Knight, and they had the same scenario happen in Central Park, but it wasn't with wizards and cats, though it did have a wizard in it. And so we see these giant cat snake things ridden by wizards shooting acid from their butts, and Carol Danvers quickly dispatches them and gets rid of them. And she realizes, you know, this actually helped her. She feels a little bit better. And so over the course of the next week, we see Carol Danvers doing exactly that. Keeping her mind off of this breakup, off of this dystopian world she just came from, by fighting the bad guys. And she fights one after the other, only for it to end up a week later and Jessica come crashing through the window yet again, because Carol Danvers went right back into her old ways. She started sitting in her room again, ignoring everybody's phone calls, and just living in her depressive state. And so Jessica tells her, like, no, like, you're getting up and you're getting dressed. We're going out. I'm calling in some reinforcements. And this is when she goes to the front door, and she's met by Monica aka Spectrum, and Jennifer, aka Hazmat. And they're just here to be supportive friends, to get Captain Marvel out of this house. And then we see the last member of the reinforcements is L'Oreal, aka the Accuser, aka the half-sister of Carol Danvers. And we see her in her Accuser outfit, and she uses the hammer to quickly change into something that's much more formal. And so again, reluctantly, Captain Marvel goes out and they go to speed dating. Of all things to do, they do speed dating. Jennifer's logic here is you just need to get out there. You need to go talk to somebody that isn't Rodney. And so she goes and starts talking to individuals, and after talking to 3 guys, she's just like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'm not about this. But in the middle of these conversations, she's attacked by the Snat. And these wizards let her know that when you mess with one of the 9s, you mess with all 9. And Carol Danvers is like, all right, well, let's get this over with. Like, I don't care how many of you there are. You know, as long as I'm not freaking in there speed dating, let's do this. And so we see Carol Danvers going and taking these all on, and Jessica realizing, like, maybe I'm going about this all wrong. Maybe the speed dating was a bad idea. And L'Oreal is like, yeah, we should just sit here. I'll shield all the civilians. We'll let Captain Marvel really work out her issues just by punching things. And it seems to be that's the course of action. At least that's what they think she needs right now. And so that's exactly what we see here. We see her knocking out all of these cat snake things and knocking them back into the portal from which they came. And after this fight has finished, Carol Danvers looks down only to see all of her friends except for Jessica have left, because they didn't really want to be there for what was about to ensue, because they knew that Captain Marvel was going to be PO'd about this whole speed dating thing. And this is exactly what happens, and immediately Jessica's just like, I'm sorry. Like, I know speed dating was a bad idea. I was just trying to help you. Please just forgive me. And so that's when we pick up a little bit later in Hell's Kitchen. And we have Captain Marvel sitting at the bar, just having a drink, really not knowing what the best course of action is for her next. You know, she's not someone who feels like she needs to be complaining. She's a pilot. She has great hair. She's got a great kinda sorta cat, possibly too revealing of a dress, terrific legs, and, you know, near godlike powers. The universe had definitely put its finger on the scale for her, but yet she can't help but feel like there's something she can't quite lick. I mean, she did temporarily when she was fighting things and things of that nature, but it wasn't a permanent state, and it's a continuous effort for her every day to fight off this depression. And for every individual, it's different rules. It's never the same for one person. And she's really beating herself up because she can restart a sun with no problem. Punch some mean snats, not an issue. Save a dystopian future, this is your girl. Well, for the most part, she didn't necessarily save it, and she's still chasing Ovi down, which is definitely not contributing to her mental health issues right now. But what better way to do it than alcohol? Alcohol has been the gateway to helping sadness and depression for literally all of human history. So it makes sense that she's sitting here at the bar. And as she sits here at the bar, she sees none other than Doctor Strange. And at first Carol's like, why are you even here? But Doctor Strange lets her know, like, I'm here because nobody else is. Like, people know who I am, so if I go to one of those magic bars or something like that, everybody knows who I am. But going to a bar like this, nobody knows who you are. And so it's nice sometimes to not matter, to not be noticed. And so as the night continues, these two continue to have some drinks, and things get very flirtatious. We see a connection building between Doctor Strange and Carol Danvers, something that we have never seen before. These two have never really had that much interaction outside of superheroing. So being able to see them in this regard, seeing each other in this regard, puts each other in a new light. And Carol Danvers actually starts to form some kind of feelings here. And so the night continues on, and these two continue having their conversation. And as the night closes out, we see Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel kiss. And waking up the next morning, Captain Marvel's first thoughts are, maybe some mistakes were made. You know, this isn't the end of the world. You've been to the literal end of the world and it doesn't look like this. And she's just telling herself, like, it's fine, be cool, like, and she lets Doctor Strange know, like, okay, well, mistakes were obviously made. Maybe a few times. And Doctor Strange tells her, like, no offense, it's not a great idea to mix business and whatever that was, and they call it temporary madness, but this is when they kiss each other again. And so it seems like some kind of relationship may be forming here. And that will be where this issue ends. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This definitely wasn't as action-packed and adrenaline-filled as the last couple issues have been. You know, we're coming off of a huge story arc, so they're kind of slowing things down a little bit, bringing it down a pace. But if anything, this issue was really highlighting how it is to go through a breakup. When you really care about somebody and they're no longer in your life, you go through a lot of struggles, you go through a lot of depression. You know, sometimes diving into your work helps. Sometimes going out with your friends help. Sometimes dating somebody else helps. All of these are different avenues to helping people get over somebody. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing Carol Danvers trying to find her way of being able to deal with all the emotional trauma that she's been dealing with. You know, because we gotta remember, it's not just a breakup for her. She saw a whole other future, a bad future at that, a future that she hopes never comes to pass. And so there's so much more emotion to this for her than just a simple breakup. You know, and sometimes dating somebody else helps, and maybe this rebound with Doctor Strange is exactly what she needs. You know, maybe we'll see some kind of relationship flourish out of it, but more than likely we won't. That's usually not how it works with human beings. Humans are more prone to have that first relationship really be something that drives you past where you're at right now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and until the next breakdown.